Smackdown!
Morning glory and hallelujah, everybody. It is the morning after with Nick and Big J. Welcome to Monday. It's another week, dude.
Yeah!
It is the 21st week, or day, I should say, of April 2025. If I did some quick math, it would be, oh, God, it might be right around, well, no, it's like the 19th week.
Don't do any math. Don't do that.
It would have been weird, but there's about 4 weeks in a month. That's where I'm getting to where I'm at. But welcome to Monday. Welcome to the 21st. My name is Nick. There's Big J right over yonder.
Yeah.
And collectively, we are the morning after with Nick and Big J. We appreciate you tuning in. Big J, was it a good weekend?
It was awesome.
Nice,
It was fantastic. The ride for 22 was epic. It was great to see a lot of people out there supporting that cause and getting to ride for the first time, Nick, after 10 years of helping support Ride for 22. It was awesome. Our buddy Dave Buckner was hanging out with us and got to spend some time with Steve and Doug and Deb, and just phenomenal, and a whole bunch of bikes showed up. And then yesterday, Easter, spending some time with family and just watching. The wife goes just over the top when it comes to our fur babies. And so she made these baskets with treats in them and their little eggs. And so we put them out in the yard for all the dogs, and they go and find them, and it's just fun to watch.
Yeah,
really
I was looking for some footage on the Big J socials. I didn't see any of the dog Easter egg hunt.
I know. I was trying to take it easy.
Got it.
A little bit.
We haven't talked about this until now, and my apologies. Probably should have talked about this off air. Are we back to a normal schedule today with Mrs.
think
Big
so,
J?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We'll roust her up.
We got to get a weekend grade. It sounds like you barely were home all weekend, and so that might factor into things.
Yeah.
But who knows? What's that?
It's what happens. And
you
get out
left
and
the
play.
missus to take care of all the Easter stuff, and that may have been a problem.
Well, no, because that's her business.
Oh, okay.
So,
Got it.
yeah.
Damn. You're basically saying get in the kitchen to make those dog treats, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, listen. I
When
guess
it's her idea. Listen, I'm always there to support. I just have to be asked. And then I'll begrudgingly say no, and then I'll do it.
that might be the Big J sentence I've ever heard. That's wonderful.
Hey, you ask, I'll help you to the end of the day.
Listen,
man.
I'll support anything you do as long as you ask me to do so. Then I'm behind you 100%.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, in most cases, one would hope you would support without being asked, but I understand what you're saying.
Well, listen, that's extra credit. Okay?
Fair enough.
That's extra credit.
We will check in with Mrs. Big J and find out how Big J's weekend was.
How was your guys' weekend?
It was fantastic. We had a really, although once again, thank you to public education. My oldest son is sick as a dog. All weekend long. I mean, just sounded like he said he felt okay, but I mean, like he was clearly stuffed up. He sounded like he was absolutely miserable all weekend long. But we powered through enough to have an Easter celebration that I hope that they enjoyed. That's the whole reason behind us hanging out together. And so it was a really, really, really good Easter around my part, other than having to quarantine the sick one so that the rest of us don't get sick and continually feed him medication.
Stay in your room.
That's right. Play video games, and then here's the Lysol. The hell away from it. But today on the show, we have an opportunity for you to go to a lot of cool things, including a couple of X sessions, one of which is happening today. More details on that, as well as a chance to win, of course, over $2,000. But let's start with some Nirvana. It's the X Rocks.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Big J, remind me of your lottery buying kind of customs. What do you do? When do you purchase it? What are you buying on the regular?
Buying on the regular, the Mega Millions and the Powerball, but usually when they're, I'd wait till they're in at least 100 million.
Got it.
Don't wanna waste my time.
Have you been impacted by the Mega Millions changes last week?
I guess. Not really. You either have to pay more now or you don't buy it.
Right. But it's a significant increase in tickets. Like, I don't know how many tickets you would buy on the regular.
$2.
Huh? Well, it went from 2 to 5, so it's
Okay,
more
I'm sorry.
than 100%.
$3.
Yes. But that's more than double the cost of a ticket for somebody. Maybe you would throw down and buy 5 tickets or something like that. Are you now going to still buy 5?
No, we don't buy 5 tickets at a time.
You just buy the one?
Just buy one.
Okay.
And it's, and then the whole thing, though, that's weird about it is the multiplier thing. Like, it's a random.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
They wanted to do this for a couple of reasons, according to the lottery representatives that have put this on. Number one, they wanted to increase the amount of the jackpots at an exponential rate, and they feel like the $3 raise from $2 tickets to $5 tickets do this a little bit faster, and that's what they were looking to do. But the other thing they really, really wanted to do was make it a marketable difference between the Powerball lottery, which also happens. Those tickets will remain $2 a piece to play the Powerball, but the Mega Millions wanted to, I guess, create their own kind of space and separation from Powerball and maybe make people make some choices and go, do I go for the bigger one that's going to be bigger, faster with multipliers? Or do I continue to play Powerball? What is the, if I'm only going to pick one, what did I want to do? And the Mega Millions thought it'd be a good idea to increase their tickets. Now, they have said that the amount of tickets they've sold have fallen drastically in that first week, so they're not exactly sure how long it's going to last. It doesn't appear to impact Big J, but other people are like, whoa, man, that's more than double what the ticket was. Why would I do that when I'm not winning anything? Now, they do say that because less people play, it does increase your odds to actually win, so there is that as well. But is that enough for you to more than double your weekly expenditures on lottery tickets, I guess, becomes the question for the general public. For Big J, the answer is an undoubted yes, but that may not be a yes for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? So it definitely impacts some things, and we will see how it goes in the long run, or even if they hang on to this particular price increase. But it is happening. It went into effect last week, and so that's why your Mega Millions jackpot ticket costs you more than it did the week before. And now you know, Big J.
Now I know why.
Big J, pretty big year for Alex Ovechkin. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, pretty damn big. Yeah, I'd say.
He broke Wayne Gretzky's scoring record, but it will not be his last year in the NHL. He's going to turn 40 before next season, but he has signed on for one more year to play with the Washington Capitals. During an interview before the regular season finale, Ovechkin cleared things up by saying, quote, "I am not retiring." And then he re-signed the contract, so not much wiggle room there. He's going to be back to add on to that number and continue to play hockey. So you'll get to see Alex Ovechkin kind of tack on additional scores and goals to that record and make it probably more and more untouchable as he continues to be on the ice. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, crazy, man.
Big J, Sinners did some pretty impressive things at the box office this weekend. Number one, knocked Minecraft movie off of its pedestal. Tough to do when you're an R-rated movie going up against a PG-13 movie that's got some momentum, but it did it, scoring a $46 million opening weekend. Not too bad for a movie that had a $90 million box office.
Not only that, but it had very little promotion.
Yeah, that was on purpose.
Yeah.
And so it's very rare that works out. But this is one of those situations where word of mouth appears to have helped this movie really, really well, because it's also, Big J, believe it or not, you are familiar with CinemaScore, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's like what people think coming out of movies, what they would give the grade, letter grade. Not a lot The Morning After with the movie.
Kind of like why we give a grade like that.
That is correct. It's the first ever horror movie since CinemaScore started over a decade ago to earn an A out of the audience. So, like, everybody that has seen the movie,
even more
says,
like Get Up. I thought Get Up was pretty good
yes,
score,
Get
too.
Up had a B, and so, or B plus, something like that. But yes, Sinners is the first ever hard A to get. Everybody that sees this movie appears to tell you that it's really, really good. Myself included. I tried to get on that train early and hopefully maybe influence you to go check it out. If you haven't yet, you should. And the less you know about it, the better I think you're going to find the movie. So
here's what you did not say. Maybe you didn't know this at the time, that this was shot in IMAX.
I knew that, but I didn't see it in IMAX.
And Ryan Coogler, the director, was like, they were like, hey, go see this in IMAX. You're really going to get a different look at it.
Not only that, but some of it was also shot in 70 millimeter, which is incredibly rare as well. Yeah, that's the film that Tarantino uses a ton.
And Nolan.
That is correct. Yeah. And so there's a few scenes that look kind of wonky when you see it on a regular screen from the aspect ratio side of things, but not enough to turn you off at all. But we don't have a 70 millimeter theater here in the city of Boise, so we are IMAX is about the best way you can see this movie. It's probably amazing in that format. It's also amazing on a regular screen if you want to see it. It's just a great movie, full stop. A Minecraft movie was second. The King of Kings, Big J, that came in third. The Amateur was number 4. Warfare number 5 at the box office for the weekend. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your first round of important stuff. It is the X Rocks. Chili Peppers give it away here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. You've been asking Big J, and it's finally going to happen. The city of Los Angeles on April 25th, that is later on this week, they'll be hosting the first ever sperm race. It's all going down, dude. 2 donors, one from UCLA, the other from USC, will be submitting their swimmers to compete. And basically, they will have an opportunity to see who has the fastest swimmer, I suppose. Those that are participating have been quote-unquote training. They've been taking tailor-made vitamins. They've been drinking a lot of pineapple juice, Big J, that tries to give their swimmers an extra boost. At least according to
boost.
Some people. They're hoping to start a sperm racing league, Big J.
We don't need this.
The idea is to hopefully raise some awareness regarding male fertility and things that you can do to keep your sperm as healthy as possible if you are trying to have a child. That's the real kind of, if you lift up the curtain, that's what's going on behind the scenes. So listen, at least it's that. It could be a lot more nefarious than just making sure people are aware that the things that they put in their body and the things that they take could have an impact on whether or not they can have children and their fertility in the long term. So there is some good messaging behind it. What the end game is on this, I'm not exactly sure. Like, what do you do if you win? Are you happy? Do you talk about the vitamins and how much pineapple juice you drink on a regular basis? Does it have to do more with the age of the people participating than it does anything else? Will this start, Big J, a sperm racing league? Where can you, Big J, gamble on the sperm race? These are questions I don't have answers to. But certainly the fact that one does exist raises them, I believe, and it's one that can only raise more questions as we move forward. So we will see who the winner is on April 25th. But no, finally, there will be a definitive answer. Who has the fastest sperm in America?
Thank God.
And it's a question we've all been asking ourselves, probably internally. We're more ashamed to go, I wonder how fast my sperm are. But it certainly is a question that we've all asked. And now questions can be answered. So if you think you got what it takes, start training today, and maybe, just maybe, this is the new esports, Big J. Before you turn around, it's hugely popular. It's selling out stadiums nationwide, and people are wearing their favorite sperm racing jerseys, and it's a whole movement. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I mean, it could be. You never know.
I feel like it's something that would take place in the underground of Fallout. For the survival of humanity. It seems like those are the stakes, and I don't know if it's quite that high. We're there yet.
It does feel like it's either something that takes place in a post-apocalyptic world, or like this is like something that happens on Vegas every Friday nights if you find the right door. So it does certainly seem like it's questionable at best, but this does appear to at least have some silver lining behind it. It is supposed to train you or teach you or help inform you about male fertility and taking care of yourself and making sure you're putting the right things in your body. If at some point, Big J, you'd like to have a little Big J, you may have an opportunity.
We're done with that. No. So what's the, is there a trophy, a belt? What?
Yeah.
Ring? What a junk ring? What signifies that you're a champion?
This appears to be like the Fox Sports Man versus Animal episode, where there was only one, and they only got to see the animal win pretty much every time before people were like, okay, I know how this ends. This appears to be a one-off, so I don't know if there's any official take-home kind of thing. Again, with a medical and a real kind of background to it, maybe it's just to raise awareness, and somebody's not looking to actually take home anything. But I'll tell you what, not bad bragging rights, agree or disagree, Big J.
I suppose so, yeah.
People have gotten into competitions for dumber reasons than male fertility, that's for sure.
Yeah, I got the fastest sperm, baby. Woo!
Yeah. I also don't know, it doesn't get into what the track is.
You ain't first, you ain't born.
Is it a straightaway? Are there turns and curves to it? I do not know. Is it a road track? These things are not answered in this study, the story, just that it's happening on April 25th in Los Angeles. So place your bets now. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We're going to check in with Mrs. Big J next on the X Rocks. This week, going to give you some chances to see that sold-out show for Nothing More coming to the Knitting Factory in May. That is House on Sand here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Every single Monday, we check in with Mrs. Big J to find out exactly how Big J's weekend was in her eyes. It's Big J's Weekend Grade, brought to you by Axio Auto. AxioAuto.com. Let's check in with Kylie, who's on the phone with us right now. Good morning, Kylie. Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday.
How was your Easter? Was it a good time? Thank you very much for the Easter basket for the puppy. I'm sure she's going to go nuts for it. We appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Oh, of course. Yeah, we had a good Easter.
Very nice. Very nice. I know you.
With the kids' family.
Yeah, you celebrated your daughter's birthday yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And so how was Big J's weekend?
For him, he did the ride for 22 Saturday, so he was all day. Coming in later in the evening. He didn't want to be disturbed. And then he did get a normal going and washing his clothes. He is hungry. So those were the two things he did this weekend. And I think he had a good weekend.
Well, I hope he did. Kylie, I'm sorry, we are breaking up, and it's very difficult to hear some of the details. Big J's not happy about it, for the record, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get into a whole bunch of details today, so we may just need a letter grade from you to find out how Big J weekend was.
C minus.
Okay, another C, back-to-back so C minuses.
I'll fill in.
Okay.
First of all, I had said, listen, I needed to pressure wash, right?
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while. Okay.
I didn't do that. Kylie and Mason handled that while it was off going around. I did mow like on Wednesday because I knew I wasn't going to get a chance to do it. And then I finished up yesterday and did some trimming, but I didn't do much around the house.
A lot of it was sucked up by the ride on Saturday and then the family events on Sunday. It's understandable. Kylie, did he have an opportunity to do more and just didn't take it? Is that what happened by the C minus?
Oh, yes. Yeah, he could have done a little bit more, but he really wanted the game. I asked him to get me a drink, and he's like, I'm in the middle of a tournament or something right now. I got to go. And he just stormed off to his office. He was playing some video game.
What were you playing?
I still got her the drink. I was playing Battlefield. I was right in the middle of a match. Because what people don't realize is that while she's working, I'm also her personal assistant and butler. And so I wish I had one here at work. Like I could just be like, hey, can you go grab me something to drink? But that's what I do on the side there while we're at home.
Kylie, is that true?
It is true. He grumbles about it, and I don't ask him all the time, but yes, I do occasionally ask him when I'm on like a really long call and I can't get up to get a drink and I'm out of my water. Like I do ask. But he is like 20 feet away from me, so it's not too far that I'm asking him to go.
I did recently, she had a work thing, and I was there, and so there was another gentleman whose wife works for the most part from home. I'm like, are you her butler too when she's working? He's like, no. And I'm like, oh.
Well,
okay.
I mean,
that's allowed?
I suppose it depends on the schedule, but you working a different schedule and not overlapping very much.
I bring her treats and stuff. I never did credit for that either.
Is that true, Kylie? Do you not give him credit for the treats that he brings you?
What kind of treats do you bring me? Like, you brought me Cheez-Its. He brought me Cheez-Its last night at 8 o'clock, though, but I wasn't hungry. I did say thank you, and then I gave them back to you. I said, you can have the Cheez-Its. I don't want them, but thank you.
You're asking for credit for something you brought her and she didn't want?
Yeah,
okay. Well,
yeah, absolutely. Because she didn't ask for it. It's just like, that's how thoughtful I am.
Well, a C minus, Big J. That's 2 in a row. You better get your act together.
It's going to be real bad next weekend.
Well, let's go. Yeah, we're going to be. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to be vacationing together, Kylie, next weekend. So, I mean, are you going to give him a little bit of a reprise because or do you expect him? Are there things in Vegas that you want him to do with him next weekend that he better step up or ship out?
Oh, I just think that when we're in Vegas, something like epic, we'll have a story to talk about with him. Like either on the plane, he loses his wedding ring. There's always something with him. So I'm sure it'll be a good letter grade regardless.
I am sure you're right. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to this weekend very much. I suppose I will see you on Friday, Kylie, and thank you very much for calling in. We appreciate you.
Take care.
Take care. You too.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Yep. There is still love in that relationship, everybody, in case you're wondering. It has brought them closer together.
I don't care what anybody says.
They still love each other.
She still loves me.
So That's the important thing behind Big J's weekend grade. Yeah, I haven't thought about that. All of us are going away together for the weekend in Las Vegas, so it's kind of a vacation. I don't know if she has given you any, are there things on her list that she wants to do?
I don't have time this week. Oh, well, we're in Vegas?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. What do you have to do?
Well, let's see. We got to hit a Saturday morning. We're going to hit breakfast at Smeigel's Bagel Factory.
Your favorite place?
That's our favorite place. But she wanted to. I've completely forgot.
Okay, we're off to a great start.
And I was like, I do want to hit the John Wick experience.
I know. I told you I'd go with you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna definitely do that, and then we're gonna go to AC/DC on Saturday night. But we are sitting apart from each other, which is kind of a bummer. But I am excited to probably for the best. Is right. And we are going to do some fun things in Vegas together. I am sure, but we haven't ironed out any of those details yet. Other than the John Wick thing at some point on Saturday, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Coming up in a few minutes, your important stuff. It's next on the X Rocks.
Important stuff. Launch newsfeed. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Important stuff brought to you by Be Our Guest. Coming up this Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning, an opportunity for you to check out the Schnitzel Garden over there in Eagle, Idaho, for a great sampling opportunity. Big J, you dine out at Eagle from time to time. What do you know about the Schnitzel Garden?
I know they have some fine German fare.
It's true. They really do kind of focus on handcrafted German food made from scratch. Schnitzel, of course, their specialty, but they got a ton of other great cuisine there for you to check out, and of course, amazing beers and wines as well. They've got a great outdoor patio. They kind of sampled it after a beer garden in Bavaria, so you have a great idea to get authentic German kind of experiences here in the Treasure Valley in Eagle, Idaho at the Schnitzel Garden. Check it out for yourself at 1225 East Winding Creek Drive in Eagle. A great way to do that is to be our guest. Go to xrock.com Friday, 9 o'clock. Grab yourself $50 to the Schnitzel Garden for just $25 and maybe sample this for yourself and see how good the food is. We are getting raves around here. Ian has gone there a bunch. It's like his favorite place to go. He loves the Schnitzel Garden, and if there's one thing Ian knows, it's German food. Agree or disagree?
Yeah.
So maybe you should check it out for yourself, and you have an opportunity to be our guest this Friday at xrock.com beginning at 9 o'clock. Big J, we do this from time to time. We've talked about it. Taking a walk and spending some time one-on-one with the person that you're in love with is a great way to boost your brain health, according to a new study. Getting your steps in, of course, will help reduce the risk of dementia. That is connected. And if a loved one is by your side, Big J, your stress levels go down as well. So 2 birds, 1 stone. So if you're feeling well connected to somebody, you may be more likely to make better choices for your health and your brain health, like drinking and eating correctly, substance abuse, those kind of things. And the best part is taking a walk with someone you care about, absolutely free, Big J. It doesn't cost you anything, unless that person you care about is charging you to walk with them. And then what kind of relationship is it?
That's not. It's an AI relationship, probably.
Does AI charge you to walk?
Probably.
Oh, my God.
Take your OnlyFans crush on a walk with you.
Oh, if you have to live stream a walk with your OnlyFans subscribers? Yes, I suppose. That
I'd really like to go on a walk. How much is that going to cost me?
$3 a minute. Let's go. Of course, if you do this, good things can happen. We all know the benefits of walking on a regular basis, and we all know the benefits of hanging out with loved ones on a regular basis. So it's not a surprise that when you combine those two together, it's like a wonderful Voltron for your brain. You understand?
Voltron, yeah. Combining powers.
Our forces combined.
I said that right at the same time.
We know that the NBA is having a rough go of it with the ratings, but you know who's reaping the benefits, Big J?
Tennis?
No. The National Hockey League.
Oh, yeah, as it should.
They have hit a new high. They have drawn over 23 million fans this season, making the third consecutive year of record-breaking attendance in person and record-breaking television numbers, which is impressive because, hey, man, hockey's not exactly easy to find on your TV, dude. Yeah. I mean, they've talked about how maybe the NBA, that's the problem, but listen, you try to find a hockey game on your TV on like a Saturday night, or a Wednesday night, if you're not a subscriber of some sort of local regional telecast, good luck. But the league has reached a impressive 96.9 capacity across all 32 teams. The Montreal Canadiens made up the biggest share thanks to 41 home sellouts, and the TV ratings increase is up almost 30% year after year. Now, you've got some big milestones that have been broken this year that could have played a part, but up is up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, of course, they also have regular events that are huge, like the outdoor series where they have the Stadium Series game.
Classic?
Yep, that's in Columbus. That had the biggest crowd this season. Almost 95,000 fans showed up for that particular game. That's the second largest ever in NHL history. So hockey is enjoying a little bit of a moment. And listen, I'll tell you this again. If you haven't gotten into hockey before, watch playoff hockey. It's a different form than regular hockey. It's so much more intense. It's so much more fun. Everybody is into it. It's a lot of fun to watch. And so it gives you an opportunity to maybe, if you are tired of the NBA or you are not a fan of baseball, playoff hockey, in my opinion, is one of the most exciting sports to watch, period. I think hockey is a little bit tough to get into. It's much more of an enjoyable game for me in person. But watching a regular season game and watching a playoff game, I think, are two very different things when it comes to the National Hockey League. And I encourage you to check it out if you haven't. It is a lot of fun.
The game hasn't really changed much, right? Hockey, like the NBA has changed dramatically in the last couple decades.
From a style perspective,
yeah. Football too, and with rule changes and things like that. I mean, hockey seems to me to remain pretty authentic to what it was when it first started.
Yeah, if you remember, they were kicking around the idea of changing the rink size when the Olympics was such a fun thing to watch. You're like, why don't we make the rink bigger and give these guys more room to work? But they kind of stuck to their guns. And while I'm not a big fan of Gary Bettman, the commissioner of the National Hockey League, I don't think he's done much to help the game. The game itself is kind of one of those things where it's like, if you give it some time, it will correct itself. And there are some incredibly talented hockey players playing right now, doing some amazing things. And playoff hockey is the way to see them at their best. So check it out if you can. Did you watch any of WrestleMania over the weekend, Big J?
No,
night 1 or night 2?
I don't even know where to go. I've seen some stuff online. But
it's Netflix now.
Oh God, yeah. No, I didn't catch it at all. I was wondering about that, and I probably could have.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing, John Cena and all that, I forgot all about it. Damn, okay.
John Cena did record his 17th world title as he ends his pro wrestling career. He had pledged that Sunday would be the last time he would ever compete in a WrestleMania ring, so why not put a belt around him? And the main event at WrestleMania 41 featured him and Cody Rhodes, who had won the title at last year's WrestleMania. And so Rhodes pinned Cena on a 3 count, but you know what? Big J, Cena is now a little bit of a heel. You know what I mean? He doesn't play by the rules.
He's got to cheat to win.
And so in typical pro wrestling fashion, even though Cody Rhodes got a legitimate fall, the referee had gotten intertwined in the action and knocked out of the ring. You understand?
No!
And the ref was still unconscious, of course, when Rhodes pinned Cena. And that's when one of your favorites, rapper Travis Scott, entered into the fray.
Love him.
He confronted Cody Rhodes long enough for John Cena to recover. Then he woke up the referee and witnessed Rhodes being pinned to the mat by Cena. And with this title, he did surpass Ric Flair for the most WWE world titles. The question then becomes, at some point over the next year, he's going to lose that because he's going to turn all of his attention to acting. He's not going to wrestle anymore. So who will become the champion after John Cena? But he's got the record.
He did say this will be my last WrestleMania.
Yeah, as I mentioned in the story.
Right, but I'm saying just WrestleMania. So that means he's okay to compare and stuff until then?
He must. I mean, they're not going to just vacate the title after he's won it. Yeah, I mean, I imagine he's going to do a couple of pay-per-views as they lean up to it, and they probably build in a Cody Rhodes rematch or something
what a
else.
Coincidence that it's his last time and he won.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't script this stuff. Morning After with Nick and Big J.
No, you can!
Oh, okay. There's your important stuff. We have an opportunity for you to get qualified for Sonic Temple. That's happening next on the X Rocks.
SEOauto.com on 100.3 The X Rocks.
I'm no math major, Big J, but we are officially 1 week, 7 days away from our big giveaway party happening at Barbarian Brewing in Garden City to give away a trip for 2 to Sonic Temple. We'll take care of the airfare. We'll take care of the hotel. We'll take care of your tickets to the 4-day music festival. And we're going to be giving away a ton of other prizes out there as well. So you're going to want to get qualified, I guess, is my point, if you want to be a part of this gigantic music festival. In order to do that, friends, neighbors, and countrymen, you need to get on the phone and qualify. 208-287-1003. You do so by playing Last Man Standing. That is a multiple choice question revolving around one of the many bands playing Sonic Temple 2025. If you can nail that question correctly, boom, you are officially qualified. You are invited to join us at Barbarian Brewing in Garden City. We are going to have a beautiful setup out there and play some bingo and have some fun, and somebody's going to win a trip to go check out Sonic Temple in Columbus, Ohio, a music festival that is officially Morning After approved. Agree or disagree?
Absolutely.
Having gone out there about 9 times together, we can tell you you'll have a good time at Sonic Temple. 208-287-1003 if you want to play Last Band Standing. Big J, are you ready with your question?
Got it, man. I'm ready.
To the phones we go. Hello, the X.
Good morning and happy belated Easter.
Good morning and happy belated Easter to you, sir. What is your name?
Jason Burgess.
All right, Jason, you're up first. Here comes Big J with your multiple choice question.
Motionless in White released the cover of which iconic metal song in 2020? Was it Breaking the Law? Helena, or The Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson?
What was it again?
Motionless in White released the cover of which iconic metal song in 2020? Breaking the Law by Judas Priest, Helena by My Chemical Romance, and The Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson.
Could it be Beautiful People?
That's correct.
100% correct. Good job, Jason. You are officially qualified for this trip to Sonic Temple. You get to join us at Barbarian Brewing on a Monday of next week. Hang on one second. We'll give you all the details that you need. Well played, sir. A couple more opportunities to get qualified yourself. Jason Drew's going to give you one around 12:30 today. Adam's going to give you one around 5:10 today. So continue to listen to get qualified for Sonic Temple, courtesy of Axio Auto. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We're going to go to hell, and we're going to do it next on the X Rocks.
Stories that are incredibly f***ed up. Oh man, we're going to hell.
Let's not kid ourselves. I'm going to hell and you know it.
The Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
Big J religion. Let's get into it.
Okay.
What do you believe in and why? I'm
I
kidding.
don't know. Okay, God, jeez. Not prepared for that in depth. And we're going to hell, too. It's weird. Dude.
But we can agree on, no matter what you believe on, there are other religions in the world. Lots to choose from, as a matter of fact, right?
Yeah.
And nobody here is judging, but there's lots of different religions. And really, no matter which one you choose, whatever religion you decide to align yourself with, if religion is something that you truly want to commit your life to, there are certain places on the earth, Big J, that are considered sacred, that people will pilgrimage to visit, as a show of their faith, their spirituality. Maybe they're looking for answers. Maybe they're searching for something. Maybe they're hoping for some sort of miracle. There are lots of places that you can go, depending on your religion, that have different kind of, religious hotspots, if you will. You understand?
Sure.
And as you purvey and kind of practice different religions, you learn about these places. And over there in Europe, Big J, there is a religion that is pretty big called the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. And it is, of course, stemming off of Christianity, a specific version of it. But they have one of their specific places called the Bermel Gorgis. Now, the Bermel Gorgis is considered in this religion to be a sacred kind of well that you can go to, that the water carries healing powers. It's a very spiritual place. People go there seeking answers, come home saying some sort of miracle happened at the Bermel Gorgis. So it's a very popular destination for people that are looking to find some sort of miracle or answer in their lives, or just as a show of faith or spirituality, show up to this place, maybe take a dip in the waters, Big J, wash their face with it is one of the very big things that you can do, and go upon their way. And then a lot of people, whenever you go to someplace like that, they have a water bottle or something, and they take some of it home with them to have some of it in their house as a reminder, or this is my spirituality, something that I can take as a keepsake. You understand, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I get it.
Here's the problem. Is Big J...
That well dried up years ago.
No, the well is still rocking and rolling.
Okay.
But something had happened over the last couple of weeks, and that is a bunch of people from Germany and a couple of people from Africa started to have some really bad symptoms. They were vomiting all over the place. They had really watery diarrhea. You know what that's like.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's not fun. And so they go to the doctor, Big J, and they're like, well, that's not exactly great. And yep, sure enough, they tested positive for cholera, Big J. Now, that's not a great disease to have. Cholera was rough for a very, very long time. And they started to do some investigation because it's
killed a lot of people.
Also not something that pops up fairly regularly. You know, it's a fairly...
it's like the damn bubonic plague. We got rid of that thing, allegedly, like hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, you know the ghost song, Rat. And so it's one of those deals where they're like, we should probably do some investigating to see where the hell this cholera came from. And so they did. And as they started to investigate and talk to the people that all tested positive for this and had these symptoms, they started to learn all of them at some point in the last calendar week had made a visit to Bormel Gorgis. And so they're like, okay, let's start talking to other people. Sure enough, the more they did, the more positive cases pop up. Some of these people that brought home some of the water and like water bottles are like, hey, do you mind if we test that? And they did. And sure enough, Big J, an infection dose of cholera has been linked to the water that was in this well, because if somebody goes in there, bathes, or goes in there and dips their hands in it, that's going to spread into that water that's there. And that's not great. Here's the problem that they are having, Big J. This particular form of cholera has proven itself to be pretty tough against antibiotics, meaning they're not working. And so they got to try to find their way around this thing and see what happens. Luckily, a cholera outbreak in Europe was prevented, but the case has been publicized as a cautionary tale, with infectious disease experts urging travelers to use caution even when visiting places with religious significance, because there could be some dangers involved that you can't always see. And maybe, dipping your hand in something that a bunch of people also do, and you're not sure where that comes from, regardless of religious significance, may not be the smartest thing to do. But the good news is everybody's going to be okay. But nobody wants to catch cholera.
Faith?
I don't know.
Is the real question.
They didn't get into it. I don't know if this
seems the opposite of healing and good vibes.
Right. I mean, I wonder if that would be a crisis of faith. If you show up to this place, you make this pilgrimage to this well as a show of faith to the person that you celebrate as a religious figure, and you go there looking for answers and you come home with cholera. I don't know if somebody would take that as a sign, or they would excuse their way out of it in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. You'd have to ask the people.
It would only strengthen their resolve.
Yeah, and go, listen, this must be part of what's his name's plan. And it's all part of the challenges that he's looking to give me. And I overcame cholera, and so now anything's possible, right?
Yeah. Try the next disease.
Bring it on.
Measles.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. Yeah, come on over to America. We'll give you that. We got ourselves a little bit of important stuff on the way, not to mention your pop culture smackdown. It's coming up on the X Rock.
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Every relationship is a snowflake, Big J. It's unique. It's special. No one is like somebody else's. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
And so you can understand why people take umbrage to things when they're clumped together about relationships. But an interesting thing is making a comeback, and that is the age gap, Big J. About 9% of married couples in the United States of America now have an age gap of 10 or more years, according to the Census Bureau. That went away in the 90s and early 2000s. It was down to about 4%, but now that number has almost doubled. So why the rise in age gap relationships? What do you guess, Big J?
I have no idea.
The results or the rumors are it could have something to do with something called the life experience alignment. Are you familiar with the theory, Big J?
I've never heard of that, no.
The theory is that when you are looking for somebody in your relationship, age doesn't matter as much as you're looking for somebody that matches the energy that you are trying to be in or your particular goals. For instance, if you're like a 21-year-old person and the people around you are living at home with their parents and aren't very career-minded for whatever reason or another, you may navigate towards somebody that has their life together a little bit more, has a path for their career, and is something that you have in line for yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's what the life experience alignment seems to me. That more people are more worried about finding somebody that has their end game in common than their age in common. And that leads you to sometimes go with people that tend to be a little bit older than you. Now, 10 years is a lot, but you have an age gap in your marriage, Big J. Was there any particular reason why that was a thing for you?
I mean, 1 year?
Yeah, it's an age gap.
I guess. Big deal. 1 year. I mean, that's not an age gap.
I think anything's a gap. It just depends on how big the gap is.
Yeah, there was no, I mean, I think it was just both of us, the right place, the right time, looking for the same thing.
That's all that matters, isn't it?
Yep.
Of course, it's not necessarily a bad thing, although depending on how big the age gap is, there could be a social stigma attached to it. People make assumptions about your relationship and all those kind of things, but it appears to be something that is coming back. And again, it's strange how it kind of varies depending on how old you are. We don't have really a problem with a 50-year-old dating a 40-year-old, but you would have a problem with a 25-year-old dating a 15-year-old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it definitely has some issues attached to it, but it could be one of those things that really does have to do with your life experience. Now, some would argue that you don't know anything about life until you get to a certain age, but I think every person for their own, as long as it's between two consenting adults, it's your own business and none of mine.
Absolutely.
But it is interesting to see those numbers on the rise. People are still talking about the decision Deion Sanders made to retire the number of Shedeur Sanders. Some past players of Colorado, especially ones who played on national championship teams like the one in 1990, are very upset because they think it diminishes their legacy. And Deion seems kind of surprised by the fact that they're upset by it. He says that he thinks every jersey he played in is retired, so he's pretty familiar with, and it's never been something that he's been upset about. But again, I mean, do you think it's a situation where people should be upset about Shedeur Sanders having their number retired or not?
I mean, what did they accomplish? They didn't even win their own league.
Travis Hunter winning the Heisman makes sense to me.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that.
Sure, that's a huge accomplishment, but the program hasn't really done a lot.
No.
They've won a couple games. Good for them. And Shedeur, his numbers are okay, but he isn't the winningest college football player.
No.
So, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's nepotism, and I can't wait to see how this unfolds when he actually gets drafted and has to play in an NFL football game.
I honestly think that this is, yes, I think it's nepotism, but to a certain extent, I also believe it's one of those things where it's recency bias. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're trying to hype up your program. And so you do that by hyping up the players that, now listen, like it or not, Shedeur Sanders is going to be drafted high on Thursday. That's going to happen. Whether or not he's any good is another question altogether. But if you're trying to build a Colorado program, you hype up the players that you feel are going to do. Look at what my program was able to do. Even though we have those numbers that you're so upset about, still, 2 players from that team are going to be drafted probably in the top 10 on Thursday, and there are not a lot of collegiate programs that can say that, regardless of what their actual numbers are and the record is. And I think as you're trying to recruit players that are so interested in the now and their legacy and what is in it for them, that you have to say, hey, if you come here, we're going to make you an important part of this program, and we're going to hype up you, and that could lead you to be drafted really high, even though your numbers may not reflect that necessity to do so. And a lot of this now is a pageant more than anything else. And I think that Colorado, the reason why a lot of kids want to go to Colorado is, yes, Deion Sanders, but the other reason is, man, that is a hype train, dude. That college will hype you up in some way or another and put a lot of eyeballs on you regardless of what the record of that school is. And there's not a lot of places that go 8 and 10 and that can still have that many eyeballs on you. Colorado is the exception to that rule. So I believe it's all part of the hype that goes into that school.
But on the other side of that, it's got to fall through when those players move on to the next level. They better be the real thing, or else it's going to be all for naught.
What does your gut say? Does Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter have a decent NFL career? Do one of them do? Do none of them do?
Well, it's hard to say because Travis is determined. He wants to play both sides of the ball. it's not really feasible in the NFL unless maybe he can prove it is. I doubt it. We'll
It's not
see.
gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll see how that happens. Shador. I don't know. I didn't watch a lot of Colorado games, so I can't tell you how good or bad he is. I'm a terrible predictor of talent anyways. You notice I have 0 championships in the morning after fantasy football league after 18 seasons. So
Yeah, well, listen, you don't need any of that to have you have a microphone in front of you. That's all that
Yeah.
matters, buddy. You can tell what you
I'm
want
a
to say.
talking head, hot take, Big J.
That's right. Big J, if you enjoy the Star Wars universe, remember this. Hayden Christensen is coming back to Ashoka season number 2. Of course, he popped in there as Anakin Skywalker. He originally played him in the prequel films, also appeared in the series Obi-Wan Kenobi and season 1 of Ashoka. Listen, man, it's pretty impressive to think, like, anybody that watched that prequels would have said, I don't think we're ever going to see Hayden Christensen again, but to have him play such a big role in the current Star Wars universe is a credit to the man, and people are geeked for it. And so all he can say is that Anakin will be back. What does this mean? Who knows? Because, I mean, there was a pretty definitive end to the character in both Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ashoka. But, of course, in Ashoka, if you aren't familiar, he plays a much bigger role in the life of that character than he does in maybe Obi-Wan Kenobi's kind of story, but
Right.
It is certainly interesting to see him coming back. You watched that, right?
Yes. And Dave Filoni, he is the guy who's pretty much the pseudo guy creating the stories here moving forward for Star Wars. And he's like, hey, listen, George laid out, how Vader, his storyline is all wrapped up. This is not new information. This is all just stuff that, kind of happened when it happened. It's not new. It's not changing the history of that character. It's just this is Ashoka's story, and he's part of that story, and that's the way it is.
I don't know if anybody would be disappointed in this news or upset about it, or I don't think they're changing anything. I think there's just a little level of surprise, but I don't think it's a bad thing. You enjoyed both those series, right?
Yeah, they're great.
I liked Ahsoka more than Obi-Wan, but I certainly am excited for season number 2, that's for sure. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff, your Pop Culture Smackdown next on the X.
Pop Culture Smackdown. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yes, indeedy. We have a great prize for you here. Pop Evil tomorrow at the Knitting Factory, the What Remains Tour. Dropping in, we have got a great lineup, too. I mean, Devour the Day, Return to Dust, Oni, and then Pop Evil. So we'll get you set up with the tickets to the show. We have a double act session, which one was supposed to be today, Return to Dust. Those guys, unfortunately, their van broke down. They won't be here until tomorrow. So we're going to fit them in tomorrow. All of this can be yours. You just got to beat Nick in Pop Culture Smackdown.
Look at all these riches. 208-287-1003 if you'd like to play a game called Pop Culture Smackdown for tomorrow night's big show with Pop Evil. We wish you all the best of luck. Big J, are you ready?
Yep.
Then to the phones we go. Hello, the X.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. What's your name?
David.
All right, David, you're up first. Good luck.
What actress played Tony Danza's daughter on Who's the Boss? Was it Alyssa Milano, Zooey Deschanel, or Kaylee Kuko?
Samantha.
Hey, Samantha!
Samantha.
How you doing?
What was the top choice again?
What actress played Tony Danza's daughter on Who's the Boss? Is it Alyssa Milano, Zooey Deschanel, or Kaylee Kuko?
I want to say Alyssa Milano.
That's a great answer. That's the right one. Nick, what movie did James McAvoy officially take over the role of Professor X from Sir Patrick Stewart? Looking for the title of that movie.
X-Men First Class.
You got it. You did it. Way to get past that first question, friend. All right, the Baseball Hall of Fame is located in which city? Is it Cooperstown, New York, Canton, Ohio, or Orlando, Florida?
Cooperstown, New York.
Yeah, well done. Nick, what was the first original Netflix show to win an Emmy? They won a bunch now, but what was the first?
I mean, I'm only going by gut because I feel like this was the show that kind of kicked things off, and I know it won some, So I'm going to say House of Cards.
House of Cards is correct.
Hey.
Right.
Excellent. This is why I don't give you, see, that you would have gotten that right away had we given you options.
Maybe.
All right. Nathan's hot dog eating contest takes place in Coney Island on what holiday? Is it Easter, the 4th of July, or Thanksgiving?
I want to say 4th of July.
That's right.
Because America.
Because America. Nick, which was the first Marvel movie from the Marvel Cinematic Universe without a Stan Lee cameo?
I think Captain Marvel was the last one that he actually did. So what was the one after Captain Marvel? I'm going to say Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever. Not the right answer.
Wrong.
Sorry, brother. Spider-Man, Far From Home.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
I'll take it. Congratulations, man. You got yourself some Poppy Evil tickets. You are signed up for the Double X session tomorrow. Hang on one second, dude. We will hook you up. Well done. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your Pop Culture Smackdown. A run of headlines are next on the X.
News you can barely use. It's headlines on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Headlines are as follows. Not a good start. I say do it, and they're back.
They're back.
Big J, lower back tattoos are making a comeback, dude. You know, we called them Tramp Stamps back in the day.
Yeah.
The trend first became popular in the 90s, early 2000s, and then there was like this cynical nature to what we find cool, and so Tramp Stamps kind of became uncool for a while. Well, when something gets overdone, it usually takes a break and then comes on back, and now we are cycling back into lower back tattoos becoming popular once again. The trend has been updated for this year. Apparently, it's more watercolor style and plain paint splashes, but they're a little bit more flowy and more abstract than the tribals that you would normally see on the Tramp Stamp style tattoos of the 90s and early 2000s. But Big J, you're thinking about getting a James Bond tattoo. Why not a James Bond lower back tattoo?
I mean, hey, at this point, I decided not to do, I was going to do a sleeve.
Yeah.
Right. And then I was like, oh, I've lost a bunch of weight and I've lost a bunch of muscle mass as well. My arm is gross. Like all the hanging gross skin. I'm like, this is not a good canvas. So scrap that idea.
Where are you thinking now?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
Are we back to your neck?
In my chest. I don't know if a James Bond neck tattoo, I mean, that doesn't seem cool.
I don't know.
Right?
It depends on what it looks like, I would say, and what you're looking for. Are you still looking to
Plus
incorporate?
HR's in the building, so I don't know.
Are you still
It's a
looking?
good idea.
That you already have the job. Are you looking at like incorporating all of the James Bonds like you were talking about, or is it not?
Yeah,
you're going to pick one?
Yeah, we were looking at turning, some of the posters from the 60s and the 70s into like a pop art kind of thing. So yeah,
But you need a large area to do what you're doing.
Yeah,
you're
I think so.
about.
Yeah.
Okay. Then make it a whole back tattoo.
Yeah, I mean, why not, right?
Just make it a back
My
piece.
problem is if I kind of want to display the tattoos I have when I have the chance.
So walk around shirtless.
I know I'm not there yet. Emotionally and mentally.
Yeah.
Walking around with my man boobs out.
Get a man boob tattoo.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll make you feel better about it.
I need a chest tattoo.
Not a good start, or I say do it.
I say do it.
2 Nashville people have started an online petition to rename the city's airport. Big J, if you had to guess, who do they want to name the Nashville airport after? An icon, Big J.
An icon?
An icon.
In Nashville?
Yes.
Nate Bargatze.
No.
Let's go.
Dolly Parton.
Oh, that makes total sense.
So far, the petition has amassed over 50,000 signatures. Of course, Dolly is a Tennessean through and through. And they think it's time that her story that resonates with everyone gets a little bit of an airport-style upgrade. The petition is on Instagram and noted that less than 5% of the world's airports are named after women. So they think it's a great idea to change the Nashville airport to Dolly Parton International Airport, and everybody can say things like, we could be departing the Parton. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we will see if it ends up happening. This is all just done by a couple people trying to get the word out, but I love the idea of having a Dolly Parton International Airport. She certainly has earned it, and why the hell not, right?
It's going to be a stupid question,
Okay.
and just, if I'm dumb. Is there currently an airport in the United States that's named after a female?
I don't know. Maybe in some capacity, a smaller one. I don't know if there's an Amelia Earhart International Airport or an airport named after her. There very well may be. I mean, there has to be one. How big it is another question altogether. But it's not certainly one of the bigger ones that are out there. So if less than 5% of the world are named after women, it's probably not likely it's a gigantic one, but not off the top of my head. What does Google say?
Let's see. Jacqueline Cochran Regional Airport, and that's in California. Amelia Earhart Airport in Atchison, Kansas.
All right, I was close. I got the name right. Didn't know where it was, though. I don't think that's an international airport.
Right, no, but that would be big time.
Wrap it up with not a good start. A Lake City, Florida woman who is training to become a correctional officer has been accused of smuggling drugs into the prison she wants to work at, Big J.
Ooh, not a good way to get a job.
DeCaleb Thomas was arrested by a task force after officials received a tip that she was going to receive illegal narcotics. She was allegedly planning to smuggle the drugs into the Swanhani Correctional Institute. They seized 42 grams of crystal meth and 211 grams of marijuana. That's a lot of marijuana. She's now being held on a huge bond and probably not going to get that job, Big J. You can't do that if you're trying to put the best foot forward. The worst thing to do is do illegal activities.
Yeah. Also, you're going to go to jail.
Yeah, that too.
You know what? You don't get a job, but you got a place to stay. 3 squares a day.
We'll see you back here, I'd say Monday. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your headlines. You're up to date on everything. Your chance to win 2,025 American dollars. Inflation domination next on the X. Here's Everlong on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Always nice when you can have a little fun and give a little back. In this particular case, Big J, we're talking about the BSU women's rugby team. They did something pretty cool. They qualified for the National Collegiate Rugby Championships. That's coming up in Washington, D.C. on the 25th through the 27th, which is pretty quick. But they need to raise some funds in order to make that trip happen because everything, listen, they don't know, not every sports program has that football cash. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And they got to be able to get from point A to point B. And there is an opportunity for you to maybe have a day night, have a great night out, and also help the women's rugby team get to the national championships and represent the Treasure Valley. And it's teaming up with a great business. Agree or disagree, Big J?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, first and foremost, they need to raise $15,000 in short order. It's going to be difficult, but we're managed to helping out. And our friends at Section 37 Axe Room are doing a give back. So basically, every dollar raised for tonight and tomorrow night, they're going to match those funds that are raised, plus giving them money from that evening. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, exactly. So they want to make sure they take care of business and get this money as quickly as possible. So maybe head out to Section 37. If you haven't thrown some axes before, it's a great opportunity for a night out. Maybe make it a ladies' night or a boys' night or a date night. Whatever you can do to get out there. They will match it, and then they'll donate all proceeds to the women's rugby fund. And of course, they're also fundraising as well outside of it. They've got a Pony Up campaign ready to go on ponyup.com. You just search for it. So if you can't make it out to Section 37, you could donate to help out. But a great way for you to do this and have a little bit of fun for yourself is to Section 37 it up either today or tomorrow at some point and help out the women's rugby team head to the national championship, because it is a student-led organization. It's all self-funded. They aren't part of this big organization. They need the help they can. And, of course, it's the highest thing that you can represent the Boise State University at. So it's great for the ladies. It's great for Boise State athletics. It's great for the Treasure Valley. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it's great for rugby because it's really it's not as celebrated as it should be. It's a badass game, man.
Yeah, they are incredibly talented athletes that play this on a regular basis, and to be considered one of the best teams in the country is quite an accomplishment. You can find out more about the team at BoiseStateWomen'sRugby.com, but do yourself a favor, head on over to Section 37 tonight or tomorrow. Throw some axes at some wood and do a little bit of good and help send some ladies to Washington, D.C. to represent the Treasure Valley. Will you please, Big J?
Hell yeah.
Thank you. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We got ourselves some bad impressions. They're next on the X Rocks.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet.
Bad impressions.
So far, I'm not impressed.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, and a cool prize here we got for you. The Rock Orchestra at the Morrison Center is happening on Wednesday of this week, and Really cool. I mean, first of all, the orchestra there for the Morrison Center is phenomenal. They do a great job, and they're going to be covering all kinds of bands and their music that you're familiar with here, X-Rock style. We're talking System of a Down, Metallica, all of them. I mean, it's going to be a really incredible time. We'll get you set up with those tickets here if you can figure out Bad Impressions.
Why don't you get on the phone, 208-287-1003, to see this really, really unique and cool performance of some of your favorite songs in a different kind of setting. If you like your rock, we like it with strings. I mean, we have a sweet spot, Jay and I, both for our bands. With both of us have seen our favorite bands of all time play with orchestras. It's been a life-changing experience for me. I imagine S&M 2 was that for you.
Dude, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So if you want to see this at the Morrison Center on Wednesday, now would be the time to get on the phone to play Bad Impressions. Our phone number is 208-287-1003. It works like this. Big J has a celebrity on his mind and in his heart. He has prepared 3 clues about that particular celebrity. If you can figure out who that celebrity is in 3 clues or less, congratulations, it's you going to the show on Wednesday. Hello, the X.
Hello.
How you doing, man? What's your name?
Jeremy. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Great name. You're up first.
I agree. All right, here we go. Brody, I'm an FBI agent.
Next one.
I know Kung Fu. Whoa.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Nailed it, Jeremy. Well done.
Yeah.
Hang on one second. We'll hook you up with those Rock Orchestra tickets so you can check them out at the Morrison Center on Wednesday. Enjoy the show on us. Big J, you've been doing Keanu Reeves for Bad Impressions for probably 7 years. The clues have never changed.
This one is. You didn't ask me the last clue.
Oh, I thought that was, I'm sorry. What was the third clue?
Weezer. They keep asking me if I'm back. Guess what? I am.
Okay. All right. Paraphrasing for sure. Why is Keanu Reeves in the news?
Yeah, listen, we talked about this last week about how Weezer is putting together a movie. They're going to be in a movie, and I was like, I don't know what that's going to be all about. Well, Rivers Cuomo dropped a few hints at what was going to be happening at Coachella. The film reportedly features Keanu Reeves as the bad guy. The project delves into the band's rivalry, with Reeves dating back to their real first gig in 1992, opening for his band Dog Star. Joining Reeves in the cast are Juliette Lewis, so she's got some rock cred.
Former guest.
Ben here in the studios. Eric Andre and Johnny Knoxville and Ben Schwartz. So a whole bunch of former guests in the morning after, right there, dude.
Obviously, they're taking this in a comedy direction for sure.
I'm all in now.
All right.
I'm all in.
The second Keanu Reeves was mentioned, you're good to go?
No, but just now we have a little bit better idea. I mean, it's going to be a comedy, obviously, and that just seems fun. I mean, to me.
I will take your. Do you think this gets a theatrical release, or is it going to end up on a streamer?
Yes, absolutely.
You do?
Absolutely,
okay.
yeah.
Now, what makes you say that?
Keanu Reeves.
Oh, well, sure, but he's been in movies that have gone right to streaming before.
Maybe back in the day, but...
Well, I mean, even recently.
I don't know what
that is. The
is.
movie I just told you about is a direct-to-streaming movie.
Yeah, but that was in a weird time, so...
Well, 2019 isn't that weird, right?
Well, if that was the case, then it would have come out in the theater.
It was made for Netflix, is what I'm saying.
Wow.
And so I don't know. I wonder if they've got the pull to get a theatrical release for this, or what a... Because, I mean, listen...
Mockumentaries are in now,
Sure,
so.
But don't forget how the Foo Fighters movie did, I guess is my point. Also kind of a mockumentary style, a little bit more of a horror-style movie that had one of the biggest rock bands in the world. I would argue Foo Fighters more popular than Weezer. Yeah. Not the star power, of course, but didn't make a whole lot of money in the box office, I guess.
It's Keanu Reeves effect, man.
All right, we'll see.
Especially if it goes John Wick on him.
Morning after. Himself. I don't know if it'll be a rated R.
Ow, my
Weezer
knees.
Movie.
Oh, my knees hurt.
I can't shoot no more. Morning after with Nick and Big J. We wrap up the show here next on the X. Injured. It's the latest from Spirit Box, Perfect Soul, wrapping up the morning after with Nick and Big J. Just to raise the curtain a little bit, that's also what Big J has started asking us to refer to him as, Perfect Soul.
Yeah, please.
It's weird, though, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. That's going to do it for us. Thank you very much for tuning in and listening on a Monday morning, a busy one, Big J. We talked sperm races, cholera. We even talked how you can help out the Boise State women's rugby team. None of those related, of course. But also, we have an opportunity for you to win some tickets from us. We gave away some Pop Evil tickets. That show's tomorrow at the Knitting Factory. Very excited for now what has become a double X session tomorrow with Return to Dust and Pop Evil popping in before that show. So make sure you tune in and make sure you follow us on all of our socials for that. And we gave away some Rock Orchestra tickets. That will continue tomorrow here on the morning after as well. That leaves you with the floor, sir.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a weird year already here in 2025. And I did not, or anybody else, have this in their bingo card, that Elizabeth Hurley and Billy Ray Cyrus would be a thing. And they are now a couple, Nick.
Is that true?
Yes.
Well, I congratulate the happy couple. Yeah, I don't know.
There's no way, in any way, shape, or form, you could ever have predicted this.
Hey, have you been following Elizabeth Hurley's career as of late?
No.
Okay, so she's in, this year she put out a movie that her son directed, right? Uh-huh. And it's like riddled with sex scenes.
Yes, I remember it. Yeah, we talked about that, actually. How that's a little strange and would be weird.
We did. So, listen, maybe it's not so weird that she and Billy Ray Cyrus are together. And I wish them the best of luck. And, yeah, maybe you'll see them upcoming at a Billy Ray Cyrus show.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Achy breaky heart.
Indeed. Yeah, don't be surprised, Elizabeth, if things go sideways. It is pretty well renowned that he does not have a lot of patience. But that's it for us. Make sure you keep tuning in because Jason Drew's coming in next. He's going to give you another opportunity to qualify for Sonic Temple and give you not one but two keywords today for inflation domination as we hit the last week for both of those particular promotions. So you may want to tune in and pay extra close attention this week to the X. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. It's the X Rocks.